Welcome to Laptop Powerwall, episode 29, Parallel and Serial Explained. A while ago, one of my viewers, Jim from Ohio, I guess, asked me to explain a little bit more about how I rewired this electric lawnmower battery with lithium cells. So I thought I would take the opportunity to answer that question and also to go through and just clarify what parallel and serial are and what that all means. So you've got two ways of connecting cells. In series, the voltage of each cell gets added together. So if this is a 3.7 volt cell, then together in series you'll get 7.4 volts. If one of these can produce a maximum of, say, 8 amps at any one time, if you really ask it, then in that configuration it's still only 8 amps that you can get out of that connection. So you get twice the voltage, but you still get the same amps, and you also get the same amp hours. The other way to do it is to join them together this way, which is called parallel, and in this case you get the 3.7 volts doesn't change, but you get twice the current. So if this one of these can produce up to 8 amps, then this unit could produce up to 16 amps and twice the amp hours. The data sheet says that when they were brand new, they had a capacity of 2,700 milliamp hours, 2.7 amp hours. So that would still be 2,700 milliamp hours, and this would be twice that. So that's the simple basics. Then I thought I'd show you some other things that I put together. So this this old Black & Decker drill had lots of NiCad batteries, which of course they died, which they always do, and so I replaced them with some new 26 650s. So there's a 18 650 and that's a 26 650, and these came out of an old electric bike battery pack that died. So I'll just open this up. Okay, I couldn't quite make it fit, so I had to cut the bottom out. But anyway, so what we have is the negative going through here, connected in series to the next one, connected in series to the next one, connected in series to that one, and then the positive, and that goes off to the drill. So that is a S4 P1 pack, which, now I've made up some charts like this. There's a PDF on my website if they're helpful to you. So that would look like 4 cells in series in a pack. So you go minus, plus, and that is about as simple as you can get. So that's that drill. And incidentally, these cells, when they were new, could deliver 30 amps, but were 3.5 amp hours, or 3,500 milliamp hours capacity. So all combined, this is 3.7, 7.4, 11.1, 14.8 volts across the whole thing, and 3,500 milliamp hours for the whole pack, which is okay. It can deliver plenty of 30 amps is probably plenty for that drill, but 3,500 milliamp hours is not that much. So here's another even uglier beast, which has 8 cells, and I'll show you how those are wired up. I'm not going to disassemble it because that's too much effort. So they are like one, two, three, four, like that. And so I've still got my 14.8 volts across there, but instead of 3.5 amp hours, I've got 7 amp hours, because those amp hours combine when you're in parallel to give you twice the amp hours. 7 amp hours. The other thing that combines is the current ability, so this can deliver 60 amps to this little drill, which is way more than it needs to, and in truth, because these are out of what was effectively a dead e-bike, then I doubt whether they can actually deliver 30 amp hours each. But still, my experience is that this one lasts a hell of a lot longer than this one with the 2 sets of cells. So that's all fine. Then let's move on to this beast here. So now before I open this up, I have to confess that there's no VMS. There's no protection whatsoever, except that the lawnmower has a 100 amp breaker on it, which I do manage to trigger. So I am asking at least more than 100 amps out of this pack. So I'll show you how this is wired up. So these were ostensibly 12 volt, technically 14 volt drills. This is designed for a 24 volt electric lawnmower, and the cells are wired in string of 7 and 12 across, 12 in parallel. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're getting all that many cells in this pack. And so what you've got is all that going on there, all those joined, all those joined, and that goes off to the negative, and all these go off to the positive, and all these are joined as well. I can't be bothered drawing those together because it would take me too long. So we've got 25.9 volts. We have 12 in parallel. So if they were all this particular cell and all brand new, then the data sheet tells me that brand new, these can deliver just over 8 amps, and they're 2.7 amp hours. So 8 amps, where are we? 8 times 12 equals 12 times 8, 96. So notionally, this can deliver up to 96 amps, which is quite a lot of current. A couple of times I've been, instead of lawn mowing, I've been mulching to make better compost, and the breaker tripped, and this read 118, I think, 118 amps. So if you do the maths on that, so when these were brand new, and these are nice Panasonic cells, they were rated at just over 8 amps. 118 divided by the 12 cells, you get 9.8 amps per cell being sucked out of these second-hand old batteries. And amazingly, it works fine. The breaker switch triggers, you reset the breaker, you try not to stall the lawnmower, and away it goes. Happy as Larry. So I'm really thrashing these poor old batteries. Even if they were brand new, it would be thrashing them. And now I'm doubly thrashing them. And amazingly, it keeps on going. It charges up quite nicely. So remarkably, these old 18650s are incredibly powerful, which is why you need to be slightly respectful of them. So there's a few other things about this pack that are also suboptimal that I'll just point out yet again. I don't have the Tesla style fuses on it. I built this before I started doing Tesla fuses, and there's no BMS, there's just the breaker switch, which is a good thing. Having a breaker at least is a good thing. I'll just give you a quick sketch of how these are all packed in, because it is remarkable that I was able to fit this many cells into this box. And I'll just give you a quick sketch of what that looks like. So if we imagine that's the side of the battery, and there's the handle goes there, then what I've got is terrible. Oh my goodness, what terrible. I've got a group of 12 in parallel there, and another one there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And then at the back here, I've got a string of 6 and another 6 down below there to make the 7th group of 12. Then I have wired all those, so those are all soldered directly together, which is not the best way to do it. Much better to use Tesla fuses. And then those are each joined together. So if you can imagine those as each a block of 12, then those are joined together all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to there, and then the positive comes off the top. And that is parallels and serial in a nutshell. So I've made up this chart to make it nice and easy to quickly visualize different packs that you might want to join up. And I've even got some with some voltage numbers on them. Assuming you're working with 3.7 volt cells, then you can go up like that. The current capacity along the x-axis, you can either put current capacity or you can put amp hours, and you can write those in yourself to get a quick and easy picture of what you might be doing. So in my case, for my 2 kilowatt pack, the mean or average cell, it's actually the mean, is 1.7 amp hours. So if you just make yourself an x-axis with 1.7 then whatever, 1.7, 1.7 1.7 there, 3.4. If we go 1.7 times 8 equals, then that is 13.6 there, and so on. And then that's 3.7 all the way up to 25.9. 3 is 11.1, 4 is 14.8. So quite often people will build packs with 3 in series or 4 in series, and if they're aiming for a 12 volt pack, they can either assume that this is the right kind of ballpark. When you charge up to 4 volts, then you've got exactly 12 volts, or you can have 4 in series and you know you'll always have a little bit more than 12 volts. So for things like this, that all that means is that they will run a bit faster, which is sometimes nice. For some other electronic devices, they need to be less than 14.8, so they're a bit more sensitive. And then 25.9 is the closest to 24 volts. So lots of people do 7 string, some people do strings of 6, which gives you 22.2 and 24 volts when it's at when the cells are being charged up to 4 volts each. I prefer going slightly over than slightly under myself. So the nice thing about this is it's really easy to visualize what's going on with different packs. So a typical laptop is typical laptop battery with 18650s in it would be 3 pairs. Here's my 3 pairs minus and plus, and 11.1 volts. And if you read on the back of the laptop battery, you'll often see either 11.1 volts indicated or 14.8, which means it's a pack that is usually 2 in series, 2 in parallel and 4 in series. Then the other end, if you're really lucky, sometimes you come across a nice big grunty 3 in parallel, 4 in series, for a really big old laptop, and those are quite nice. Oh, so the other thing you can do with this is visualize something like my 1 kilowatt go-kart battery, which was 7 in series, so it was a 25.9 volt pack, and it was 24 in parallel. 24 is, so it was that. And once again, all these were wired together with the positives and the negatives wired. So they were all wired together, and then they were all wired together, and they were all wired together, and they were all wired together. And then I linked, I think I had 3 or possibly 4 connections linking those. What you do see other people do is other people will connect all the negatives together, and they'll connect all the positives together. And this is what Peter from HP Powerwall is doing, although his goes up to 100 cells. And then what he does is he connects them right at the end here. That's why he needs to have a massive bus bar, because he needs to be able to carry the current from every cell all the way. Let's imagine it goes a long way. It goes off the screen. What have we got here? We've got 4896. So it's miles that way. Well, a little bit further that way. So he goes, oh my goodness, he joins all those together and all those together, and then he connects each group in one spot. So he has to have a massively fat bus bar, whereas what I do is I use much thinner what's known as battery strapping, which is, where's it? Oh, so that's this stuff here, which you can buy on eBay and AliExpress and so on. It's much thinner, but it, according to my calculations, it should be able to carry 20. According to my calculations, it should carry 20 amps, but in this case, it's being asked to deliver 100. So, oh, by the way, this pack does warm up after being used. So that's not very good, but anyway. So, by using thinner straps, I join them in multiple places to allow the current to go through in multiple places. So in this, if I've got 3 20 amp connections, strappings, then that's 60 amps worth of current that can flow straight across there. Whereas Peter needs to have some honking great conductor that can cope with whatever it is, 100 amps, all through the same single conductor. And he's going to do that for the bus bar as well. The nice thing about Peter's system is it's much more modular. With my pack, once I've built it all together, it's not easy to replace any one group. So, pros and cons there. I hope that has been helpful to some people, and to Jim, Jenny, Ohio. This pack is certainly not particularly safe. It's being overused, over-abused. When I build another one, assuming that this one dies at some point, it's been going for a year or so now, so still going fine. I will do Tesla-style fuses, and I haven't found a BMS that will fit in there that will cope with 100 amps. So I may or may not do a BMS in the next one. I've got balancing wires because I charge this using my iCharger. So whenever I charge this, it gets rebalanced, which is a good thing. And there you have it. That is the insides of that, and parallel and serial explained. I hope that has been helpful. Catch you next time. Cheers.